everyone, this is Country Music News International. My name's Nigel Sharpe, and I am speaking today to Miss Tori Martin. And the first thing I'm going to
Howdy.
ask, yeah, exactly. And the first thing I wanted to ask is actually, where are you right now?
Yeah, I'm in Fort Worth, Texas.
Right.
So out in the USA.
And Texas is your home these days.
I split my time between Texas and Nashville. So I'm in Nashville a good portion of my time and then here and then on the road.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually going to ask you, are you a real kind of country girl, working down on the farm, but looking at the clothes you're wearing, and you look as if you're off to a sort of really great event, or out for dinner or something in a nice restaurant.
At the moment, yes, for sure. My husband and I have some land out in Grayford, Texas, which is west of Fort Worth, out in the sticks. So we have horses and cows and donkeys and you name it. So definitely
Right.
a country girl vibe for sure.
Let's get to some music. The latest released, I hope I get all this right, but this is Lost in the Country.
That's right.
And how many songs actually have you released this year so far?
This actually, I believe, this is my first of the year. We had another song that we released last year, but did the music video a little bit later. So we
Ah,
had that at the top of the year and music awards. And this was kind of my first release of more new music coming out this year.
right. So have you then already kind of recorded an album or an EP, like you already recorded a series of songs?
Yes, I definitely have put a lot of work in the studio, and I still have some more to do and working towards a record in 2025. So
Right.
I'm getting close, chipping away. I get in the studio with my producer, Bill Warner. He's in Nashville pretty frequently, and we just kind of chip away and
Right.
just see how we can fine tune and put out our best, the best of the best.
So when you're doing the recording, this is going to be in Nashville.
Yes.
I've been to the States about four times. One of the things that really always amazes me is the distances people travel. How long does it actually take you to get from where you are in Texas to Nashville, Tennessee?
If you're driving, it takes about ten hours, maybe a little bit longer, depending on traffic. But
Yeah,
if you're flying, a nice flight, it's kind of short. It's about 90 minutes. So that's kind of the preferred method if you can do it.
yeah. So when you're whizzing off to Nashville to do some recording, who's writing the songs?
I co-write on just about every single song that I have put out. Some of my earlier music, when I've been in music for a long time, but earlier material, some of it I recorded some of my friends' songs, but I really got into songwriting around 16. And so since then, I really have been recording songs that I write, and I love to do it. And it's something that I do also for other artists and other people that are looking for material. So I become a songwriter too. So I'm signed as an artist, but I'm also signed as a songwriter with Lucky Sky Music.
Right. So, and when it comes to collaborating with other writers, how do you do that? I mean, do you go and see them get together in a room, or do you do it over Zoom, or do you send an email, or
Honestly, kind of all of the above. It just kind of depends on the relationship that you have with some of the songwriters. Like if you write together pretty often, I have a guy that I've written with him since I was really young, and he lives here in Texas. So yeah, sometimes we do text each other or email each other lyrics, and we're like, "What do you think of this?" or da 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 da. But I mean, you probably can't do that with somebody you don't know quite super well. But I've done Zoom with, artists or songwriters in Canada and Australia, like you name
Mhm.
it. But my favorite thing is probably getting in the room. That's really when the magic happens for sure. And you just kind of I don't know, you feel the energy and the ideas are just flowing and just kind of bouncing off each other.
So you mentioned that you kind of got into songwriting when you're about 16. In terms of actual singing, when did you think to yourself, I can do this? I mean, I can do this as a career.
That's a great question. I kind of am the weirdo in my family. Like nobody else is in music. I'm not one of those people that are like, yeah, my mom played fiddle and my dad played guitar. Like, no, I wish, but I'm just the oddball. And I loved music at a really young age, and I loved singing. And my papa kind of saw that in me and really inspired me with country music, and it was like, okay, country music is the music. And so I fell in love with it at a pretty young age, and he really encouraged me with singing and that pursuit. But it was probably when I was around like 13 or 14. I actually was singing at church, and I'm like, I know it's cliche, but it's just how it happened. I was singing at church in the church choir, and there actually was a producer there and a sound engineer, and he was Grammy award winning. And he ended up hearing me sing and kind of like my raw talent, and was like, oh, kid, you got something. And so I started working with him around that age. And it was at that age that I was like, okay, I can do this thing, and this can be my career path.
Well, there's nothing wrong with singing in church. That's where I started.
I love it. But they always say, oh, country artists always say, I was singing in church. But I'm like, it's just how it happened.
One thing I do find, I don't know if that's the same for you, finding people who can sing harmonies is quite difficult at times. Finding somebody who
Yep.
can sing a melody, that's relatively easy.
Right.
And and obviously in Nashville, there are so many great musicians there. You're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
find some great singers. And if you're recording a song and you think, right, this song needs backing vocals, do you do them, or do you get somebody else in?
I do them all. So
Right.
basically every song, every recording that you hear, I do sing my backing vocals. I bring in another guy. He plays in my band, but he has a gorgeous voice. His name's Matt Singleton. And so if there's like a harmony, I'm like, ooh, this just would sound better, like with a different texture or layer with a male voice. He sings with me too, but I love doing it. It's so much fun.
Yeah. That's the best bit for me if you're in the studio doing the vocals.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Anyway, I've always been a big fan of singing. Um,
Yeah.
so in terms of releasing new material and all the rest of it, I mean, are you kind of touring to promote it, or are you more doing individual gigs?
Yes. So Lost in the Country is my current single. And last week we actually were filming a music video for it. So
Right.
I'm really excited to share that. We were literally getting lost in the country all over Texas. So it's going to turn out really, really cool. But I am out on radio tour. I'm going to like Oklahoma and Louisiana. And then they're going to be sending rehearse with my band. And then I'm going out playing in Iowa. So I have a lot of stuff coming up, and definitely it's kind of like to support Lost in the Country, but also my new music coming out. So I'm like, right now we are all about Lost in the Country, but excited for other stuff to share as well soon, very soon.
So what are your plans for the rest of the day?
I have this, and I'm getting ready to go out on that radio tour. We're starting
Right.
out in Oklahoma next week, and I'm playing a show out in Oklahoma. So I'm like, I just have some things to prepare for that and have some team meetings today. So just a lot of prep work for everything that lies ahead. So very exciting stuff.
Well, I hope all goes well with the song, the gigs, the radio tour. I did see also on your Spotify page that there's quite a lot of people listening to you in Australia, which is
I
quite
love
interesting.
that.
That's
I
good, isn't it?
know. Yeah, I've met quite a few Aussies, have become friends with them, and they, oh my goodness, they said that they just love country music over there, and
They
they
do.
call Australia kind of like the Texas. They're like Texas, so I'm like, how funny. So it's kind of kindred spirits.
Yeah, I've done a few interviews with people over in Australia because the scene is it's quite big, certainly on the East Coast.
Yeah,
Okay, so I'll wish you a pleasant rest of today and
thank
all the
you.
best for
Likewise.
2024. And I'll say farewell and give the dogs a cuddle from me.
Oh, I will tell your cats I said hi or howdy.
Okay. Okay, you
Thank you,
take care.
Nigel.
Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.